let's walk through how to build a basic nav bar and go over responsiveness. I've gone ahead and built a project in Visual Studio Code, and essentially how this is going to work is we have this solution, which is navbar.html and navbar.css, and then we have a blank slate here, index.html and styles.css, and we're going to work our way to that final solution. You'll see here the final solution is this navbar, and when you go to mobile, it's going to shrink down to a column format for better responsiveness. So let's go ahead and get started, and we can go to this blank slate here. And the first thing we're going to want to do is start with the HTML, and then we'll go to the CSS. So let's go to the HTML. Now with a nav bar, you're going to want to start with the one of the most important semantic tags for a nav bar, which is the nav tag. And within this nav element, we're going to add a list. Essentially, a nav bar is a list of links, and we're gonna first create an unordered list. Order doesn't matter. You could rearrange this however you'd like. Order is not important. You would use OL, ordered list, if order was important. So if you were making a recipe and you have certain steps you have to follow, then in that case an ordered list of steps does matter, so you need to use order. But in this case, we can just use unordered list, and then we can create our list elements, and there's going to be 4 of them. And then within these 4 elements, essentially, as I mentioned, it's a list of links, so you're going to want to use an A tag. An A tag is for links, and we're going to, we're not going to link today, but we're just going to use a hashtag for the link, and then we're going to have 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to say home, about, services, contact. That should be the 4, and we'll see that here. Home, about, services, contacts, the final solution, and we've got a start to our navbar. And that's really everything we want to do here in the HTML. So it's pretty straightforward on the HTML side. The rest of it to get from here to here is all just going to be with styles and media queries. So let's go ahead and hop into the CSS. To note, I did go ahead and link to the external style sheet with the link tag, and you're going to use 2 attributes for it. The href attribute, which is used to the value is going to be the link or the location of the styles that you're using for the HTML, and then rel is the relationship. What is the relationship of this external sheet to the HTML? It's a style sheet, so that's why we're putting that there. And then if we hop in the CSS, I've broken this down into 3 parts, and this is how we're going to tackle it. So we're going to style the page, style the navbar, and then make the navbar responsive. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Essentially, to style the page, we want to target the body tag, and we're actually working our way down. So we're going to work our way down all the way down to the A tag here. So body, nav, unordered list, and then link. And that's how we're going to approach our styles. This type of CSS is a element selector, because we're just naming the tag of the HTML. And so we can go ahead and do the nav for the nav bar. We can do the unordered list, and link. And then we want to make the nav bar responsive, so what we use to make responsiveness is a media query. So at media, and then we're going to say min width 800 pixels. Generally it's recommended to work from the smaller screen size and work your way up, and that's why we're using min width. So when we hit 800 pixels, you will see that here 800 pixels, that it is now switched to a row format instead of a column. So generally, unless you have the primary, most of your users are going to be on desktop, which generally is not the case. You want to use mobile first and then work your way up, and so that's why we're using min width. So at media, parentheses, put in essentially the metric or the breakpoint where you want new styles to take place. And so once we hit around tablet size, we want the navbar to go to a row. And so within media, then we want to target the we're going to target elements within it. So we're going to get to that. And we first can start with the body here. So within the body, we're going to want to say, hey, we want our font family to be just sans serif, just for just general. Let's use the font sans serif font. We can say we don't want any margin. So, you know, I actually can show you here. So within the nav bar, first we want, I think one of the most important things is when we're thinking about this is we want our nav bar to be responsive. In order to do that, we have to use flex. We're going to order the links in a column or order the links in a row. And so we want to, you know, start with the nav bar, or really the links within the under ordered list. We want this list to be flex. So we're going to say display flex to use flexbox, and then we're going to say flex direction, and we're going to say we want this to be a column because we're starting with mobile first. And then if we go to the media query, we can say flex direction row, like so. And so we start to see that here. So if we inspect the page, we're saying, hey, it's a column, and then when we go up to 800, it switches to a row, like so. Okay, so flex direction row. Another thing we're going to want to do is, first we want to maybe color the nav so we can see it. So we're going to say background color, and we're going to give it a gray here. And you'll see that it starts to take shape. You'll see as well that there's some white space here. So the body, or the container that contains the nav bar, has some padding that has some extra margin, really, that we want to get rid of. So we can go ahead and say margin 0, and that's going to get rid of the margin on the left and the right. And looks like we still have some stuff which we'll get to as well. We can say margin 0, see if that fixes that. Margin 0. We can do, what is this? Let's see. All right, we'll just keep moving forward. But essentially margin 0 gets rid of the left and the right, and we'll keep proceeding. So now we want to, you know, let's make our links a little bit more visible, and that's really the links here, the A tag. Let's go ahead and say, let's say color white. We want text decoration to be none. We don't want that underline. Okay, so there we go, and let's move this back down to mobile. So it's starting to take shape. You're seeing some bullets here next to the links, of the list of links, so we want to get rid of that. So we say list style, or list style, or list style type, and we're going to say none. So that's going to get rid of the, let's see, okay, so there we go. Oh. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We got rid of the bullets. Okay. And then we want to add some spacing. So we want to do, hey, padding 1 rem. There we go, a bit better. And then we want to add a border top just above the links here. So 1 pixel solid, give it the color, there we go. So you'll see that we got the border that we're seeing here, and then we want to get rid of that border on bigger screen sizes. So we're gonna say, hey, take the list, and you'll notice, you know, only for the media query, we're only specifying sizes that we need to change. We're not specifying all the sizes. So all of these styles still apply unless we specify otherwise. And so we're gonna say border top. We say we don't want that anymore, so, you know, just 0 pixels. Should get rid of it. Okay. And we can see, what is this? HTML pattern. Looks like we got, let's try. Margin 0. padding 0, border, box sizing, border box. Let's see how that does it. Okay, that helped. There we go. So I just applied some style to the theme, like if we were inspect some, padding or something. I believe it was padding that was affecting the spacing in the top there. So I just got rid of it just with like margin padding, just kind of cleared out the styles. You also can use like a reset CSS file to neutralize the browser styles, and I like to put it in a separate file. You could also put it here. That's essentially what we're kind of doing here. We're resetting the browser in a way. So you'll see that. There we go. We've got this. You've also, in addition, you can say for the link tag, we can say display block, and that's going to make the space of the whole link clickable in the space here, not just the text itself. So display box is helpful, and looks like we've just about covered everything, I want to say. And you'll see that we've just created that essential basic nav bar. A lot of people will switch, once you hit mobile, you're going to add like a hamburger menu or, some other, icon that's going to make it mobilely responsive that you can open up the nav, have it appear. But in this case, just want to show an example of, just basic responsiveness of a nav bar, what you could do to get started with that. So, and we can, let's go over the solution and just see if anything was missed. Okay, just take a quick look. And again, overall, like with styling, there's not always a right or wrong answer. As long as, if you get to the final product, that's what matters. And I would say we just about pretty much covered everything. There's some slight variation, but overall it's the same concept. You can tell that it's pretty much exactly the same. It's just slightly different based on like where you put a style. But ideally, that's just an overall concept for a nav bar. In future videos, we'll cover more complex nav bars. But thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.